Okay.
We just got out of the theater to see Kimetsu no Yaiba Infinity Castle. It was amazing. I loved it so much.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I didn't have to go to the bathroom.
I know it was a longer film, but I'll be sitting through an animated film that long is definitely quite fun.
Yeah, it really was. I knew it would be long, but it was long, but not in a bad way. I thought it was going to be 2 hours and 10 minutes, but it was longer than that. This was really good. The animation was the animation was peak. Putting it on a scale sounds stupid, but it was great. The music was awesome.
We also saw a trailer for, sorry, go on.
The voice acting was awesome. The story by Demon Slayer, if you like Demon Slayer, you'll like the movie.
Well, I always said Demon Slayer is a really well-made shonen, so if you like shonen stories, you're gonna like Demon Slayer. But no, what I'm saying was, we got, like I said, while we were there, we were to see a trailer for Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, that's looking cool.
I forgot the TV show came out in 2022.
Yeah.
Not 2023.
Mappa Taking Their Time was that one, which fine.
They were doing Jujutsu Kaisen at the same time.
Yeah, that's two big shows.
So we're going to be seeing that in theaters next month, so we're going to rewalk the anime.
Eesh, one intense anime to an even more intense anime.
Well, yeah, if you like more advanced or seinen, you're going to like Chainsaw Man. Again, I think they're extremely well made for what they are. Sounds derogatory, but you know what I mean.
Going back to Kimetsu no Yaiba, so the closest thing that I could think of was the feeling that I got when I was watching this movie was when I saw the Warhammer Titan, Eren versus the Warhammer Titan. When I saw it in the manga, I thought it was so cool, and I thought I would never get a chance to finally see it in animated. And then when I did, it was so amazing, and the same thing was said for Shinobu versus Doma. It did not disappoint. I loved that fight. It was my favorite fight. I love Shinobu Kocho. I love her story. I love her conflict. She is a true high femme hero. I love her.
Like I said, even if you're like a casual fan of the show, I do recommend watching it in theater because the music is way better with the sound system.
I'm not an expert on music. If I had to guess, like the moment right when he cut off his head, at least to me, it sounded like Tanjiro cut off Akaza's head. It sounded like they were doing...
Spoiler review, by the way.
If you don't know what's gonna go on, then I don't know what's wrong with you. But anyway, it sounded like a mixture between Gyo's theme, Tanjiro's theme, and a little bit of Akaza's theme.
Well,
so it was really, really, like, amazing. The music was so good. And then the way they just, like, cut into was the credits. Because, so the opening song is, I forget the names of them, even though they're on my phone. I can't look them up because I don't want to stop the recording. But the opening is by Amir, and then the ending song is by Lisa. And Go Shina does the composure for the composition for the opening song, and Yuki Kajira does the one for the ending song. So I probably like the ending song a little better, but the way that it just closes into it is really, really good.
So for me, the thing that's really interesting is I like music. Don't get me wrong. Trust me, I like music. My streams are the lake, and I'm trying to find good songs to play that fit the theme of the stream. But what I was saying was, sound effects go underappreciated in a lot of films. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying is, if you like the series, I recommend seeing it in theater just to hear the sound effects.
Yeah.
And also a proper sound system, because it gets almost like 8D. If you ever listen to 8D music sound effects, it kind of has that feeling when you actually have proper speaker systems. Like,
and we didn't even see it in the IMAX. We're not really IMAX.
IMAX is overrated.
Yeah, we kind of think it's overrated. We went to go see Suzume on the IMAX on our second watch because we saw it in the...
We saw the first watch on the IMAX and saw it in the
second one was IMAX.
No, it was the first one, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Remember the kids were in our seat on the second one.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Because, so...
They actually miscounted and they were one seat over.
Yeah. So, we saw Suzume in the IMAX, and when we saw it on the regular screen, it was like, well, it was a bigger screen than normal, but it wasn't like it was because it was an XL screen, but it wasn't like it was the IMAX screen where it's got this like curve. But it's like, we didn't really notice the difference, at least with Suzume. And I remember when I think we saw, did we see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 in the theater?
No, me and our other sister saw, what did we see?
No, we saw it, we see that in the IMAX, because the tickets were really expensive. They were $17.
No, I don't think so, because we saw it on the side. I don't think we saw it on the side of the IMAX.
But Because the seats in our IMAX are also really uncomfortable.
They're old-fashioned IMAX seats.
Yeah, so they're...
Fun fact, they were more comfortable back in the day when we had plastic seats in the normal theater, but the Marcus branches, all Marcus branches have retrofitted, a few years ago before COVID, retrofitted all of their theater to have better seats.
Yeah,
so now the IMAXs are falling behind.
Yeah, so it's like I'd rather go in more comfortable seats. But anyway, back to the movie. I would probably say the slowest part for me would be Zenitsu versus Kaigaku. It wasn't bad. Obviously, it was epic, but that is probably the fight that I was the least invested in. It's not that I disliked. Yeah, it's not like I disliked it, but at the same time, it was such amazing character development for Zenitsu.
Well,
it was really cool to see him.
The main problem is that what's his name?
Kaigaku.
Kaigaku is very little seen throughout the series.
Yeah, he's only seen like twice. And the second time he's seen, he doesn't even have any talking lines.
So that's the biggest thing is the fact that you didn't need, if there's a few more flashbacks to Zenitsu in the past with Kaigaku, then that would have been a little more fitting. I also thought he was going to be taller, but I looked him up in the manga, like, oh, he's short. Shorter than I thought.
Me and Nora, we were watching the series, binge watching it before we got, getting prepared, and I made a joke, and it is true. The author of Demon Slayer, does not let anything get in her way of the plot, including characters. She kind of speeds over some development with characters to get to the parts that she wants. She knows what she's doing, and she just wants to get to it.
She has a roadmap laid out. Oh, speaking of roadmap, this is what I was thinking about. So what I really like is the mechanics of the entire movie. It's one of those things where everything lines up so perfectly. You're wondering, like, did the person plan this, or did they just really use their toolkit? Because that's from a story development standpoint. Sometimes you get this situation where you're like, okay, sometimes people forget how much stuff they have in their toolkit, and then whenever they don't know, they can't get themselves out of the holes they put themselves in because they don't realize they're holding a subtle. So for everything that was used on the hero side of the searching through the castle was stuff they already had established way early on in the series. Nothing new was introduced. So I'm saying is that it's fascinating seeing how it's almost like, was the cast like, when in the, you kind of want to pick our brain and be like, when in the development did all these items come together, or did you make all these items together, or did you make them individual and then realize, wow, I have this entire thing, I have an entire Lego set at my feet.
Slow down a bit. I said slow down a bit.
Avoid the speed limit.
You're going, wait, now you are. You were going 45 seconds ago.
I saw this downhill. It's called gravity.
Anyway, but yeah, the fight between Akaza, Tanjiro, and Gyu was awesome. Totally awesome. I loved it. Which is funny because the one complaint that I saw about the movie, the first complaint that I saw was someone said it was too long. And like I said, it does feel long, but I don't think it's long in a bad way. I think it's just like one of those things. It's like, wow, you don't want this to end, and it's still going. It's so cool.
I think the slowest moment for me was Akaza's flashback, because I didn't know how much they were going to go into depth with this. Because I already knew what his plot was.
I read the manga through and through. I've read it several times, so I knew all about it.
I didn't really care about spoilers, so I just had her tell me what Aladdin's deal was.
He calls him Aladdin because of his
So
pants.
the very first time I saw him, I called him Aladdin because of his open vest and his slutty open vest and his pants.
So anyway, but yeah, I mean, the IGN score was saying...
She is so obsessed with IGN's bad score on Demon Slayer, it's really funny.
It's the first time I saw them review something that I liked, and they gave
She's personally
it it's not the fact that it's like, 6 out of 10. Like, it's just the fact that they've given everythings that are worse or a higher score.
I think the fact that, well, one, IGN does not like Japanese things. We all know that.
Yeah.
And two...
I'm addressing the criticism, but the point being is that they said too many flashbacks, so it made it horribly paced. And like I said, I think that if you are used to Demon Slayer, I think it's fine.
It's kind of like watching Fire Walk with Me, the David Lynch Twin Peaks movie, and being like, why is this so obtuse? And I'm like, bro, this is the capstone of the TV show.
And one thing me and my brother are always pointing out is that we just kind of find it a little funny that when you're watching, well, not you, the reviewer, so an unhuman person, when reviewers are like looking at a French film or a Bali film, they don't judge it by they don't judge it by the standard of an American story. But for some reason, with anime, we judge it on the same standard as American storytelling, and there's only one way to tell a story then, and if it's not like that, then it's bad.
Well, because reviewers are failed writers. They were taught in high school and college to use these different, use the hero journey, use all these ways to plot out stories in a Western, made by Western people, because, we live in the West, so we try to write stories in par with our Western canon. What's nothing wrong with that, don't get me wrong. That's perfectly cool. The problem is, one, they don't branch out, and two, they don't realize that those restraints that their teachers put them on is probably why they're a failed writer. They didn't break free from the... You don't go out and you don't say to yourself, I'm going to write the hero's journey by following the hero with 1,000 faces. You just write a story. The way that book even came to existence was the fact that so many people just wrote stories, and they all happened to align because there's certain things we like.
Well, there one... darn it, I forget his name. I wish I forgot his name, but he did a new video called The Ego-Shattering Truths of Writing, and the one thing that a lot of writers have is that they just try to make everything they want it to be the new Game of Thrones, they want it to be the next this, and that's awesome, and it is good to have goals, but at the same time, you can't be so focused on the 5th season of your series that you forget the here and now. And I'm not saying this because, Kimetsu no Yaiba is the next, Full Metal Alchemist or what not, although I think it might be more remembered because of the animation.
I can tell that she's a fan of Naruto and of early JoJo's, seeing the way she writes her fights and also the way she does her character designs. Judging from her age, what I gather from her age, she's a very secret, private woman.
I don't even 100% know if the Demon Slayer offer is a woman. It just kind of seems...
It's a woman. You can tell by her self-portrait. Yeah, that's a woman.
Yeah, I had a feeling...
There's a way that men draw themselves androgynous, and there's ways women draw themselves androgynous. Also, she's an insect woman. Those women are very specific into
Here's the reason why I knew it was... I had a funny feeling that it might be a woman. Because all the outfits were very detailed. And had a lot of thought into them, and so it's like, okay, this is either a guy who went to fashion,
like Nomura, or someone who likes fashion, like Araki.
Yeah, or it's a woman. And the way that Tanjiro was done, it's just like I feel like the creator is a woman, I'm not 100% sure if it's confirmed.
Well, as I said, it's obvious the way she draws herself. She's a woman. The way she's decided to see an insect woman. Insect women are very particular.
Oh, that was another thing. It was really fun seeing the insect breathing animated because we only saw one move. I do find it funny because it really also goes to show you how much Shinobu's is a self-made breathing style. Because same thing with
all breathing styles are fake. All breathing styles were made.
Yes, but it wasn't because hers and Inosuke's don't have numbers.
Oh, yeah, you're right. She didn't say any numbers. She just said what the style was and did it.
Yeah, I first noticed that when they're all attacking Muzan right before they go into the Infinity Castle, they all say numbers, but she just says butterfly dance.
Yeah.
I first thought it was a mistake, but then when I went back, I realized, oh yeah, she just calls her commands and such because she just makes them up as she goes, I guess.
I do find it funny because I always make jokes that why isn't Akaza's ability ice, and then Domo comes out and by the way, I'm the ice villain, even though I use fans for wind.
Everyone's a mess.
What next? Is the wind pillar going to use a flamethrower? And the wind demon going to use a flamethrower? And be like, well, he causes updrafts. I know he causes updrafts. You can be quiet.
But yeah, I think that, like I said, I think it's
I've heard that they're going to fill up a second film.
Okay, so predictions for the second film. The second film will most likely come out in set to come out in 2027, with the last one coming out for the 10th anniversary in 2029, so 10 years after the first season, and I can't even believe I'm saying that. But, so the last one, the second one will most likely be, I do not know, so this is not spoiler, this is my prediction, will be Upper Moon 1, Upper Moon 2, Upper Moon 4, and Muzan getting ready to hatch. So there you go, free fights.
Oh yeah. With flashbacks and all, but we already got some of the flashbacks for Upper Moon 2.
And then movie because there will be a lot of flashbacks in movie 2 as well, because that will be all of Muzan's Muzan's
extra backstory.
yeah.
Besides the backstory we got from season 4.
It will be Muzan's a little more of Muzan's backstory. Well, not so much of like Muzan's like before. We already know how he turned into demon, but his Muzan, the early days. And then it will be some of Tamayo's backstory a little bit more, and how she met Yorichiro, and then of course Yorichiro and the Upper Moon one, who's Kokoshibo, whose real name escapes me at the moment.
Oh yeah.
It's not important. He's not important. He is so menacing though, Upper Moon one.
Yeah. We got that, and then we're probably gonna.
And then movie 3 will be the ending.
And of course,
will be the fight between Muzan and then the epilogue.
Yeah, we're gonna get the epilogue will be at least 30 minutes, make between the time jump part of the epilogue and then the follow through of the fight, and also technically have the fight with what's his face. I don't know how long that lasts in the manga, but we have that technically.
I don't know, because Akasa's lasted a lot longer than I thought it would.
Well, they added a bunch of stuff to it, clearly.
Well, yeah, it was the fighting, but it's still, like, and that's the one thing I do think, like I said, I wasn't surprised of how the pacing would go, because I did read the manga several times, so it's like I knew how this was all going to fold out. But at the same time, that's what makes it good in a movie, is because you can actually see, you can see how the people's emotions, and you can hear the voice acting. So it's like in the manga when you're reading it.
Word, but sound also helps.
Yeah, you can see Tanjiro really upset about Shinobu's death, but with the sound and was his voice acting and his music, it really does help even sell the emotion that he feels of hearing Shinobu's death, and how he can't even have time to mourn her because you gotta keep moving.
Well, that's the main thing about the movie, is the fact that how everything keeps moving.
Yeah, nothing stops.
And I was first wondering, like, I wonder why she didn't include the stone pillar in this attack, and I realized, oh wait, no, they fought that through. If any demons were left on the surface, they needed someone to defend the children. Was seeing the old flame pillar out of retirement, and of course,
he means the sound pillar.
Yeah, did I say stone again?
Yeah, he gets the stone. Because he wears a whole bunch of jewels, he calls it the stone pillar. The sound pillar to stone pillar a lot.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was our review. Overall, I give it, I
would definitely go and watch, even if, like I said, if you're a casual fan, I
want to go to the theater again, and I want to rewatch it, and I give it, on a personal level, 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I think, I probably would say it's pretty close to an 8 out of 10.
I was really, 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 really happy with it, and I'm glad I got to see it in theaters, and hopefully I'll be able to see the next one.
Yeah.
Till then, bye!
Have a good one.
Oh, also, I got to cosplay as Shinobu Kocho, and a lot of people liked it. And by a lot of people, I mean free. But hey, that was cool.